Look at this. The Grand Canyon. It's like a history book written in stone. A billion years of Earth's past laid bare for anyone to see. We're taught that these layers, these strata, tell a continuous story. The deeper you go, the further back in time you travel. It's a perfect record, or is it? What if I told you this history book has pages ripped out? Not just a few, but entire chapters. Billions of years worth. Vanished. This isn't a plot hole in a novel. This is the greatest mystery in geology. This is the Great Unconformity. An unconformity is a surface between layers of rock that represents a gap in the geological record. It's a time when no new rock was formed, or when existing rock was eroded away. They're common, like missing a year in a diary. But the Great Unconformity is different. It's not a missing year. It's a missing epoch. It's a global phenomenon found on every continent, separating ancient, deeply tortured crystalline basement rock from much younger, flat-lying sedimentary layers. And in between them, nothing. A silence that echoes for hundreds of millions, even over a billion years. This is the story of that void. What happened during the missing time? And what cataclysm could have scraped the entire planet clean? To understand the mystery, you have to see it for yourself. And the best place to see it is right here in the Grand Canyon. At the very bottom of the canyon, at the inner gorge, you find the Vishnu schist. This rock is ancient, dating back to 1.7 billion years. It's dark, twisted, and metamorphic, meaning it was once molten and transformed under immense heat and pressure deep within the Earth. You can see the scars of its violent birth. This is the basement, the true old foundation of the continent. Now, look directly on top of it. After the Vishnu schist, the next layer you see is the Tapete sandstone. It's about 525 million years old. It's a sedimentary rock made of sand that was once a beach laid down in calm, horizontal layers. Do the math. The Vishnu schist is 1.7 billion years old. The Tapete sandstone is 525 million years old. The gap between them is over a billion years. 1.2 billion years of history are just gone. What's more, the surface where they meet isn't rough or jagged. It's remarkably smooth. The billion-year-old surface of the Vishnu schist was worn flat, like a tabletop, before the Tapete sandstone was laid down on top of it. This contact, this impossibly flat line between two worlds, is the Great Unconformity. It's as if a cosmic hand took a sander to the planet and polished it smooth, erasing everything that came before. This pattern is repeated across North America and the world. In the Rocky Mountains, billion-year-old rocks are capped by much younger sediments. In the depths of mines and drill cores, geologists keep finding this same ghostly interface, a lost world hiding in plain sight. The timing of the Great Unconformity is perhaps the most tantalizing clue. That layer above the gap, the Tapete sandstone, was deposited right at the dawn of the Cambrian period, around 540 million years ago. And the Cambrian period is famous for one thing: the Cambrian explosion. For most of Earth's history, life was simple. Microbes, algae, maybe a few soft-bodied creatures that barely left a fossil record. But then, in a geological blink of an eye, life exploded in diversity and complexity. Hard shells, exoskeletons, claws, eyes. For the first time, animals with skeletons appeared in the fossil record. Trilobites, brachiopods, and the ancestors of all modern animal phyla suddenly emerged. Is this a coincidence? The Great Unconformity represents a global clean slate. A vast, eroded landscape was suddenly flooded by shallow seas, creating the perfect conditions for sediment to be deposited and for fossils to be preserved. Did this global event, whatever it was, actually trigger the explosion of complex life? Did the destruction of the old world create the opportunity for the new? The rocks themselves seem to be whispering a connection, a story of death and rebirth on a planetary scale. So, what kind of force is powerful enough to erase 1 billion years of rock from the face of the entire planet? Geologists have proposed several suspects, each more dramatic than the last. Imagine a world where the oceans are frozen solid, from the poles all the way to the equator. The entire planet is a single, glittering ball of ice. This is the Snowball Earth hypothesis, and evidence suggests it happened several times in the Precambrian, the very era that's missing from the Great Unconformity. Glaciers are incredibly effective erosional agents. As they move, they act like colossal bulldozers, scraping and grinding the bedrock beneath them. A global ice age, lasting for millions of years, could have systematically scoured the continents down to their ancient basements. When the ice finally melted, it would have left behind a smooth, barren world, ready for new sediments and new life. The timing fits, and the power is certainly there. Was the Great Unconformity carved by ice? The Earth's crust is a dynamic puzzle of shifting plates. In the time leading up to the Cambrian, a supercontinent known as Rodinia was breaking apart. The process of a continent breaking up is incredibly violent. It involves massive uplift, where vast regions of land are pushed high into the sky, forming huge mountain ranges. But what goes up must come down. When land is elevated, it becomes vulnerable to erosion. Wind, rain, and rivers attack the high ground, washing billions of tons of sediment into the newly forming oceans. This period of super erosion could have planed down the continents on a global scale. The rocks that would have recorded this turbulent time were themselves ground into dust and washed out to sea, creating the billion-year gap. The breakup of Rodinia provides a plausible, planet-wide mechanism for the Great Unconformity. Perhaps the truth is a combination of these forces. The most widely accepted theory today is a 1-2 punch of tectonic and climatic chaos. First, the breakup of the supercontinent Rodinia uplifted the continents, making them ripe for erosion. Then, this tectonic activity may have triggered a dramatic change in the climate, plunging the planet into a Snowball Earth event. The glaciers then finished the job, grinding the uplifted landscapes down to a smooth global surface. This double whammy of tectonic uplift and glacial erosion could explain the sheer scale and remarkable flatness of the unconformity. It's a story of fire and ice reshaping the world. After the Great Erosion ended, the world was a very different place. The continents were low and flat, sea levels were rising, and these vast shallow seas began to flood the continental interiors. These were the perfect environments for life to thrive. The erosion itself may have played a direct role in the Cambrian explosion. All that grinding of rock would have released a torrent of nutrients like calcium, phosphorus, and iron into the oceans. This could have been the ultimate fertilizer, triggering algal blooms and creating a food web complex enough to support larger animals. Furthermore, animals were beginning to evolve skeletons, and they needed minerals like calcium carbonate to build them. The Great Unconformity may have literally provided the building blocks for life's great leap forward. The blank slate was also crucial. The newly deposited sedimentary layers, like the Tapete sandstone, provided a fresh, clean surface for life to inhabit and, crucially, to be fossilized. The ancient hard basement rocks below were not a good environment for preserving fossils. The new sands and muds were. So, the Great Unconformity didn't just create the conditions for complex life to evolve, it also created the conditions for us to find it. It gave us the first clear pages in the fossil record. Despite these compelling theories, the Great Unconformity remains a profound mystery. The Snowball Earth theory is powerful, but the evidence is still debated. Did the ice really cover the entire planet? The tectonic theory is elegant, but can we be sure the erosion was truly global and simultaneous? The truth is, erosion is, by its very nature, a destructive process. It destroys the evidence of its own crime. We are left with the aftermath, trying to reconstruct the scene. And there's another, more unsettling possibility. What if the Great Unconformity isn't one single global event? What if it's a composite of many different erosion events that happened at different times in different places? Because the basement rocks themselves are of different ages, the gap represented is different everywhere. In some places, 1 billion years are missing. In others, it might be only 200 million. This has led some scientists to argue that we shouldn't think of it as one great unconformity, but as many great unconformities that we've grouped together because they all sit beneath Cambrian rock. This makes the story messier, less like a single cataclysm and more like a series of regional disasters. The mystery is far from solved. The Great Unconformity is more than just a geological curiosity. It's a humbling reminder of the immense power and deep time that have shaped our world. It shows us that the Earth's history is not a smooth, unbroken narrative. It's a story of violent upheaval, of unimaginable loss, and of profound renewal. Entire mountain ranges were raised to the sky only to be ground into sand and washed away. Continents were scraped clean by ice a mile thick. And from that chaos, from that barren, polished surface, life emerged with a newfound vigor. The next time you see a picture of the Grand Canyon or any layered cliff face, look a little closer. See that line, that subtle contact between the dark, twisted rock and the neat, horizontal layers above it. That line is a portal. It's a boundary between two different Earths. Below it lies the ancient mysterious world of the Precambrian, a world we will never fully know. Above it lies the world we recognize, the world of complex life, the world that led to us. The Great Unconformity is the moment one world ended and another began. It is the scar left by our planet's most dramatic revolution and the silent witness to the birth of our modern world.